Hello, 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 everyone. Look
All
who I
right.
have with me. Very excited. I love
Hello,
when I
everybody.
pops with my honey. Um, so today's going to be. I brought him on because today we're talking about the power of light. Now we're going to go into different things that I know a lot of you know about, but we're going to look at it from different aspects, different things that we've been talking about, different information that we have gotten that I think is going to be very, very interesting. So welcome back, honey.
Well, thank you for having me. This is kind of one of my second favorite subjects. I'd like to talk about God first, but in terms of health and helping us to have a more healthy journey in this life, I love this stuff. So thanks for having me.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, before we do that, though, I want to put this up real quick, guys. Gathering Connection, join the movement. March 14th, 2026, 1 to 5 p.m. Should I announce? We don't even have it up yet. We got to put it up.
Yeah, no.
You know what? I'm going to announce it. So anyway, get your tickets here. Thegatheringmovement.org for March 14th. That's a smaller gathering. The Gathering Connection. You don't want to miss this. Honestly, a lot of the people that came last time said they just want to keep coming to this, but not sure how many we're going to have for before June. That's probably going to be our last one because June 20th, mark your calendars. We don't even have tickets available yet. We will be in Indiana. Now, how far is that? I don't want to give an address or anything yet, but how far is that from Indianapolis, honey?
Oh, from the airport, it's probably 10, 15 minutes, I would think, at the most.
Okay, great. So that is June 20th. That's a full gathering. That's going to be a national gathering. We're calling it the real deal. The real deal. We got to call it that. But so if you can, as soon as we put, I don't know, maybe in the next week or so, we'll have the availability for tickets. So we're really excited about that. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I just want to open really quick and talk to you all about what a lot of you know already, and just to kind of lay a foundation for Dennis and I here. Look, I know you guys know this. Our health is being assaulted on a daily basis. Environmental pollution, air, water. I mean, just yesterday, there was this in Florida, there was this major uh, uh, announcement that if you don't have to go out, don't go out. That's how bad the air was. So, it deals with our respiratory system and cardiovascular diseases it causes. And recent research even said, long-term air pollution, water pollution, things that are in our food have such a threat to human health. It can cause the C. I don't even like to say that word. But the oxidative stress and inflammation that it causes in the body, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I dealt with that for years. GERD, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease. People deal with this all the time. IBD, inflammatory bowel disease. Water pollution. You get heavy metals and pesticides and other pathogens and forever chemicals, the PFAs. Why do they call them forever chemicals? Because you can't get rid of them. They're forever. They enter our water supplies. They cause all kinds of things to go on in our body. Children are at risk. Look at the autism rates. I mean, we always talk about these things causing it, and I'm sure they do. But, the things, I know kids that have stunted growth because of everything, the contaminants that are being thrown at them. Pesticides. You live in an HOA, they take care of your lawn. They put pesticides everywhere. Developmental delays. In 2016, it said, this is a fact, pollution rate related diseases in air, water, and soil killed 940,000 children worldwide, 2/3 of them under the age of 5. Food contamination. We don't buy anything unless it says non-GMO or certified organic. And even with it certified organic, it's really only like 96% organic. They still shove some things in there. Chemicals are linked to birth defects, thyroid disease, Hashimoto's especially, reproductive harm, immune suppression. Our immune systems are being suppressed. This is what is unfortunate. I'm not going to get into anything political here because you know how I'm feeling about politics lately. I just have stepped back. But I found this out yesterday. Someone sent this to me. I looked it up. It's absolutely true. Dennis, wait till you hear this. Just recently, our government approved over 100 new pesticide products.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Including highly toxic substances like paraquat and atrazine. And they did it to allow companies to make more money because those pesticides are cheaper. Problem is, it also removed any regulations on the PFAs, the forever chemicals. It removed them in food, in water, and in human blood. They're finding it. PFAs, you can't get rid of them. That's why they call them forever chemicals. So companies are making more money, and our government approved 100 new pesticide products. But here we are, dealing with it. We deal in reality. So what do? Look, I grew up in a small town in Massachusetts. Dennis grew up in a small town in Connecticut. We basically, both our families lived off the land. My father had fruit trees in the backyard. Yes, he covered them in the winter. We had all kinds of fruit trees, massive garden, like an acre of a garden. We canned anything we couldn't eat. By the fall, when we finally harvested corn, my mom would can, or she would freeze, make tomato sauce, freeze it, make pies out of the apples, whatever. Life was different then, and it was very healthy. I mean, manure was used as a fertilizer. Everything was recycled. Cancer rates were very low. Most diseases you hear of now were nearly unheard of. Autism was nowhere to be found. And although life expectancy is climbing due to new technologies and like this, and we're going to talk about understanding our bodies, then we've realized the need for exercise. Guys, if nothing else, and I'm going to take a little aside here, if nothing else, go on YouTube. And if you can't walk, find chair exercises, move your arms, do something to get your heart moving. Drink clean, pure water. Get a water filter. If you can't afford a water filter, look for a pretty cheap distiller. Everyone can find that. Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, that stuff does not have no reason to be in our bodies ever. You got to be careful. Pure water is the best thing to drink. And if you can drink half of your weight in ounces, we can no longer just eat well and expect to stay healthy. There needs to be many proactive steps that need to happen. And sadly, our physical health affects our mental health, and our emotional mental health affects our bodies. There's a book. I'm not saying you should go get it. It's not a Christian book. It can have some humanist things in it, but It is an excellent book. If you didn't read it, if you love that stuff, go get it. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. That means, why do you think I say don't listen to different things that are going to affect you with fear and different things? Because that trauma affects our life and our minds and our emotions, it will get stuck. That trauma will get stuck in your body. So what do? Dennis and I eat as much organic food as possible. If you eat meat, try to eat grass-fed beef, free-range chicken, wild-caught fish, not farm-raised fish. Dennis knows a lot about that. Sounds good, farm-raised, but it's bad. We get blood tests. We order our own through Ulta Diagnostic Labs. They're all over the country. We take our blood pressure. Awareness of our sleep. We monitor ourselves. But a year ago, we found something that changed our lives. So what is it? It's Dennis is going to go into that more, but let me tell you about the light, the power of light, which is why we're doing this. The power of light, in essence, is called photobiomodulation, which is using light to stimulate cells, promote healing, reducing inflammation, relieving pain. It boosts mitochondrial energy in production. It leads to faster tissue repair, doubles your hair, stops hair loss, stops skin aging, firms your skin. Remember, light was God's first creation. He said, "Let there be light," and darkness fled. It's a very interesting thing. But why is light so important in our body? Dan, I'm going to go into this briefly, and then I want to go to you because I know you got something powerful that you prepared about inflammation. Light is crucial because it regulates our inner clock, which is our circadian rhythm. It controls sleep, our hormones. It controls our mood. It controls our metabolism. It enables vision. It supports bone health. It influences cellular energy production. Most people don't realize that cells communicate using light through proton emissions called biophotons. It's like a super fast intracellular network. You can't even keep up with it. The cells, they talk to each other and they coordinate and they repair and they signal and they create chemical processes that will help your body, because God made our bodies always to seek health until they get enervated to the point where the cells are just done. They can't do it anymore. But in a healthy body, it acts like a biological Wi-Fi. It coordinates all the functions and healing and even our consciousness. So what we discovered, it has been around for years, and it's how light can heal us from the inside out. Just before I came on, I was looking at the power of light, and I found studies from UCLA and major universities and companies of how they're now harnessing the power of light to cure diseases, including dementia, including Alzheimer's. And Dennis, I know that you want to talk about this because, and he wants to explain what we are talking about, because this is very near and dear to your heart, honey.
Yeah, when you mentioned inflammation, and it's inflammation is really misunderstood, because there's actually a good inflammation and a bad inflammation. And the good inflammation is kind of a natural and essential part, of our body's immune system and response whenever we get injured or infected, or we get irritants come inside our body like germs or toxins. And so that good inflammation involves a release of white blood cells. And those increase the blood flow to the affected state or area in our body. And that's when you see, like, if you have redness or swelling or warmth or pain, loss of function, the white blood cells will go to that area. That's a good inflammatory response of the body to help heal that situation. And like I said, this process will help, trap and eliminate those threats and promote healing at the same time. But there actually are two types of inflammation. There's acute, which is the good one. Right away, it affects the area that's in pain or sick. And then there's chronic. And the chronic is the one that is really the one that causes all the problems in our body. And those are the one we have to stay focused upon. So acute inflammation, the good one, is kind of short-term and beneficial, like the swelling around a cut that resolves as this wound heals. We've all experienced that. And inflammation, however, it persists over time. That's the bad one. And even without an ongoing threat or potentially damaging, healthy tissues or whatever, that contributes to most of our various diseases, that chronic inflammation over time. The acute, the good one, it's protective. The chronic inflammation, the bad one, that poses significant health risk by it just silently damages cells, like Delora was talking about, in tissues and organs, and even our DNA over time gets affected and damaged. So the chronic inflammation is linked to such a wide range of conditions, including like cardiovascular, heart stuff, cancer, diabetes, obesity, arthritis, even depression, Alzheimer's disease, even chronic respiratory issues, all due to this chronic inflammation. And so they even found in a study that chronic inflammation diseases account for 3 out of 5 deaths, in our population. So, and the symptoms of chronic inflammation, you're going to probably identify one of these. I've had some of these. It includes like persistent fatigue. How many times have you say, "Oh God, I'm running out of gas here. I'm tired. Got to take a nap." Joint and muscle pain, sleep difficulties, mental health issues like anxiety, like Delora was saying, digestive problems, unexplained weight gain or loss actually is due to sometimes inflammation in the body. And so if it's left unchecked, there's inflammation. If we don't address it, we're going to have internal scarring, tissue death, increased vulnerability to these severe illnesses. So it's why we're talking about it today, because unchecked, it's going to lead to far worse situations in our body. Like even inflammation in heart vessels, which is a big thing for me that I was attracted to this new light technology, is that inflammation involves plaque buildup on our artery walls, and it narrows the restriction of blood flow.
Dennis, I have to get off for 1 second. There is someone that is banging on our door, our windows. I don't know what's going on.
I'll tell you what, don't you get off. I'll check that out. So you just go ahead here and I'll check it out.
Okay. Dennis, oh boy, we live vicariously here. Dennis, look out first, please. Look out. Okay. Well, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. This man is banging all over my window. That's why I had to mute. Anyway, I'm going to wait a couple minutes. If you guys, I don't know who that is. There's a black SUV in front of our house. Dennis, there's a black SUV in front of our house, babe. Hang on, guys. I don't know who it is. He's talking to somebody. And here's live. This is what happens when you do live. Give me a minute. I'm a little concerned. What is that? Okay. Let me see. Can you put it here? What is that? Okay. Well, Who's it from? Okay. I got a chocolate dessert board from someone. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Dennis will be back in a minute. Yeah, Dennis is way to be the man. Renee said, way to be the man, Dennis. Oh, yeah. My husband. My husband. My husband deserves every award there is to be a husband and a father. Anyway, honey,
Okay.
you go ahead.
I'm back. Am I on here?
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry about that, guys. Just
Yeah,
should
me
be
too.
cautious.
Black SUV. I looked through the window, the thing. I said, "Oh boy." Yeah. Okay. Go ahead,
I
Ben.
guess because they thought the item would spoil out there, or because it's food or something, or melt, they had to get a hold of us. So
Someone
okay,
says something.
you can never be too cautious. Anyway, so inflammation. All right, so we talked about the heart and of course the brain. Inflammation in our brain is associated with stuff like Alzheimer's, dementia, cognitive decline, memory loss, behavioral changes, and which I never knew. Inflammation can also cause symptoms like depression. So fatigue, lack of motivation, reduced appetite. So this kind of, got me very interested in this light technology. So I want to show you a slide of what this light technology does for inflammation.
I have to like breathe. I have to breathe. My vagus nerve is flipping out right now.
Okay. So I want to show this slide that has to do with this light technology because on my mother's side, she experienced Alzheimer's, and I ended up taking care of her at the end. And I never want to experience that for my own self, for my own family. So I was very attuned to this. And when I found out what this light technology does, I got very encouraged. So this particular person was a 77-year-old woman who placed this, which we call X39. It's a patch that emits this light technology. And in her session one, they took like a map of her brain. And you see all that red and discoloration. That's inflammation in the person's brain. And it causes lack of brain coherence. So session 2 in the middle, after 3 weeks of wearing this light technology, this X39 patch, the inflammation was erased. It was gone in a 3-week period. And so in her brain coherence improved. And then session 3, after 6 weeks, I mean, absolutely no inflammation whatsoever. And that's what a coherent, non-inflammatory brain looks like on a scan. And that's after 6 weeks. So that's what got me interested, because like I said, it ran in my family. You can take it down, honey. And the last thing I just want to, no, I guess I'll wait on that. So yeah, you know what, honey, I'm going to send it back to you. As far as this talking about the stem cells, because I think it's very important to address those stem cells, which is kind of like the foundational thing that's going to help us.
Are you going to explain what it is, honey?
If you like me to at this point, I could. Yeah,
I'd love you to.
So this patch that we call kind of looks like this, like a little adhesive patch, and there's no supplement. There's nothing in it. It doesn't go into your body whatsoever. All it does is when it adheres to your skin, think of it like when you go out in the sun, and as the rays of the sun touch your skin, hit your skin, it activates vitamin D in your body with the light from the sun. It works the same exact way, photomodulation here. And it when you wear it, it activates on your skin. Light gets dispersed into your skin throughout your body, and that activates stem cells. And once your stem cells are activated, all kinds of good things happen in your body. Antioxidants release, collagen, copper peptides, glutathione, all kinds of good stuff. A repair of DNA that's been damaged. Inflammation starts to reduce. All that inflammation I'm talking about around your heart, around your brain, your joints, it begins to reduce as light is emitted and from the activation of the stem cells. And so you want me, how's that? You want me to go more?
No, that's good. I'll take it from
Okay.
there with the stem cells.
Okay.
Stem cells are everywhere right now. It's like Dennis said, and this activates those. So let me explain to you. We're born with a certain amount of stem cells, but what are they? Okay, when we're born with the stem cells that are very activated, they are unique cells in our body. They're like the impersonator. That's what I call it. They self-renew. They actually make copies of cells. They transform themselves into muscle cells or nerve cells or blood cells. And they go in and they are the body's repair system for growth and healing. So let me explain to you. You have someone has, say, a liver that needs help. Okay. When stem cells are introduced into the body and they're activated, and that's what this does, because by the time you are in your 50s, your stem cells are completely dormant. By the time you're 30, half of them are dormant, which is why when you see someone, they get in their 50s, then the early 60s, they start to age a lot and things start happening because the stem cells are no longer activated. So what happens is this activates your stem cells, your own. It doesn't put stem cells in you. It activates your own stem cells. So what happens is this: you have a liver, it needs help. The stem cells that are activated are like sonar. They go to the area of your body that needs the most help. So if it's your liver, they go to your liver and they turn into the liver cells. And they're brand new liver cells that help repair the liver. And that's what stem cells do in our body. They're the great imposter and they're amazing. People right now are having stem cells injected into them because they know stem cells are dormant. For example, stem cell injections, just a localized treatment, maybe for, maybe a mole or something like that, or whatever, $1,000 to $3,000 an injection. You want a bone marrow stem cells for like knee pain, back pain. That's between $4,000 and $8,000 an injection. More invasive procedures, Alzheimer's, specialized clinics, 10,000 to 30,000 and up. Now, insurance doesn't pay for this, and usually the stem cells last maybe 6 months, and the people that I've spoke to actually have said they didn't even work. And like I said, insurance doesn't cover it. So you got this little patch, okay? This activates your dormant stem cells. This is why people say to me, why is your hair? Why do you suddenly have so much hair? Why is your skin getting tighter? Because it's activating stem cells. It's also creating collagen, and I'll go into that in a minute. But the inventor and scientist behind this, David Schmidt, has nearly 250 patents. I'm going to put that up on these patches. So here's the X39 patent. I don't know if you guys realize how long it takes to get these patents. It takes a long time. And it took him many, many years. But if you can see part of the patent in the bold, it says it right on the patent. Elevates copper peptides. Wait till I tell you what that does. Activates stem cells, including activation of stem cells, improvements of energy, elevation of antioxidants. So the stem cells, activation of stem cells is right on the US patent. What does this mean for you? It means that cells in your body that are damaged, areas in your body, whether it's your mind, your heart, your liver, your your pancreas, which deals with diabetes and all of this stuff. If it's damaged, the stem cells that are activated will go to work there. And you don't even know they're doing it. You don't even know. See, this patch does not need your agreement to work. There's nothing on it. We'll go into that in a minute on how it works. I'll do that later. But there's not another product anywhere in the world, or a supplement, or a drink, or anything that can actually create and activate your own stem cells that will be used all over your body to duplicate and mimic the cells in your organ or area that needs the help. Bottom line, X39 activates stem cells for pain relief and vitality and energy. It's become a revolutionary breakthrough in wellness technology. It's non-invasive. It's been thousands of double-blind tests with the patch and a placebo patch. And what it does is it's phototherapy, light technology, the power of light, to reflect specific wavelengths of light when it hits your skin, which stimulates a peptide in the body, which activates your own stem cells. Now, Dennis, what about antioxidants? I know it's a big thing with you.
Yeah, like you said, with this light technology, the stem cells are activated, and when they're activated, they're releasing antioxidants. And of course, we've all heard about antioxidants. It's a big thing now in the health field. And antioxidants are compounds that help protect cells from damage caused by what they call unstable molecules, which we call free radicals. You've heard that term, free radicals. And they're produced naturally through metabolism or from environmental factors. Like those free radicals come from like pollution, all those things Delora was talking about, the chemicals and the pesticides and the stuff in the air and chemicals in our water and even secondhand smoke. All that stuff produces free radicals. And free radicals, can lead to oxidative stress. You all heard that term, oxidative stress. That's a state where the free radicals, they actually outnumber the antioxidants. So it's almost like a balancing scale. You're getting in bad shape when the free radicals and the oxidative stress is more than the antioxidants in your body. So you want to increase antioxidants to attack and remedy that oxidative stress or those free radicals. That's why this type of technology is so important, because it's constantly releasing the antioxidants by the stem cell activation. And so the antioxidants actually neutralize the free radicals. And what happens on a scientific level is the antioxidants donate electrons and effectively turning them off without becoming unstable themselves. So on a cellular level, the antioxidants are neutralizing free radicals by kind of turning them off with this release of these electrons. I don't know how it works beside that, but that's how it's going on a chemical level. So the body produces antioxidants, like I said, such as glutathione, alpha lipoic acid, and many come from our diet too, which is why Delora is saying eating right, eating healthy, eating the right foods without chemical pesticides on them and all that is so important. And because you can get vitamin C, it's an antioxidant, vitamin E, it's an antioxidant, selenium, zinc, copper, plant compounds like flavonoids, which you get in our fruit and vegetables. So you can get a source of those, but because of the bombardment of the free radicals and what's out there today, that imbalance is always existing. So it's like overtaking the existing antioxidants. And so the antioxidants, their primary role is just to maintain balance, prevent or reduce oxidative stress, damage to our DNA, and because all that stuff, is going to increase that aging process. When you have these antioxidants being released and the stem cells being activated, you're actually slowing down the aging process, and you're reducing, like I said, inflammation, which is the key factor. and you're just lowering the risk of disease. And so antioxidants, they just help reduce that chronic inflammation, the bad inflammation, which is related to all those heart and brain issues that we talked about. And another great thing about this activation of the stem cells is, Delora, like those copper peptides and EMF protection. Why don't you talk about those?
Oh yeah, this is a problem, guys. I did a whole show last year. You can find it on, I mean, we're right now we're on Rumble and YouTube. You can find the show about EMF, the dangers of EMF, are on both. And I think it's probably beginning of last year. So probably about a year ago. EMF comes off of everything. Electricity, power lines, cell towers, Wi-Fi routers, microwaves, cell phones, smart, here, off of here, laptops, electric blankets, out of our sockets. It comes out of everywhere. Now, you can't help it. You buy Faraday material. You can buy it on Amazon. It's very inexpensive, and you can cut pieces of it, which is what we did, and you put it over your electrical outlets. Every little bit helps, okay? But so how do we really combat it? The results of recent studies not only show that EMF exposure triggers oxidative stress. That's what Dennis was talking about in most of our tissues, but it causes significant changes in levels of blood antioxidant markers. So what does that mean? It means what Dennis said. It means that the oxidative stress has overtaken the antioxidants that are working in your body. That's when you start getting critical illness. It impairs it. And it starts with, fatigue, headache, decreased learning ability, brain fog, cognitive impairment. It starts like that. And you're like, oh, I'm just getting older, and I'm tired. No. And then if you let it go, it'll go into neurological issues. They're connecting EMF with electromagnetic fields, EMF, with almost every disease that you can think of. And the worst thing of anything is that it ages you twice the normal amount. You look it up, it's a fact. EMF, an abundance of EMF coming at you will age you doubly. Doesn't matter if you're a year old or 90. So when I first heard about X39 patch, I asked it if it could help with EMF exposure. So when the person we were speaking of said absolutely, because it creates copper peptides in your body, I didn't want to know about that, but what does EMF, what would it do exactly for me? So I looked it up, and then a member of our community had a real life situation. I'll tell you about that in a second. And this is what X39 does. They're designed to stimulate the body's production of the copper peptide GHK-Cu, which in turn activates stem cells, promotes natural repair, regeneration. That means cells are regenerating themselves, and anti-aging effects by reflecting, listen to this, infrared light on the inside of you from the body, putting it on your skin to inside, and it fights EMF in the cells and rejuvenates the cells back to health that have been damaged by EMF exposure. So what it does is it acts as a Faraday cage. Now, I know that I feel like a different person. I'll go into that later. But a member of our community here bought a new home, and it's a smart home. Everything in it was, I guess as smart home is go. I guess you walk in a room, the lights go on. I mean, everything Everything was smart home. And after she was in there a couple of weeks, she started feeling ill. And I mean, even her face, she said her face didn't look good. She sent me pictures. So she put on the X39. Within days, they thought they were going to have to sell the house. Within days, she was a completely different person. That's when I knew. It was like in real life. I saw it real time, what was happening. Now, what else can it do, though? So let me talk to you a little bit about the copper peptides. It does that, activates stem cells, acts as a Faraday cage around each one of our cells to block EMF. It also creates collagen in our body. A lot of people said to me, your skin looks different. My God, it looks beautiful. I went to, at the last gathering, people had come up to me and said, oh my goodness, your skin looks so nice. My hair is thicker. My hair is turning dark brown here. It's coming in dark brown now. I don't know if my whole head will turn dark brown. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it is coming in dark brown in different areas. My hairstylist said you went from 80% gray. I started getting gray at 30. I mean, I was like 80% gray at like 50 years old. So she said you went from like 80% gray to like 50% gray. But collagen also, and a lot of people don't realize this, will stop cancer from spreading in your body. Oh, I hate to use that word, but it stops a malignancy from becoming so that if it starts in one area, then it ends up in a whole other area, and then it goes throughout your whole body. This kills it in its tracks because of the collagen that it creates in your body. Collagen that acts the way it's supposed to. It's not only about looking good, ladies. It really helps as well. Now, real quickly, I'm going to go into, I put this on, it was November 20th, 2024. So it's just over a year for us. Dennis got this. Usually I'm the one that does this stuff. Dennis got this through a dear friend. Within 48 hours, I looked it all up. I checked it out. I watched some videos, and within 48 hours, I was a different person. I was in pretty bad shape, guys. Okay. I'm not going to go into all of it. I didn't realize how bad a shape I was in until I went to do blood tests to see how this would react with me. Within 48 hours, energy through the roof, endurance. My sinus condition was gone. Over a period of weeks and then a couple of months, I was lactose intolerant. No more. I now could eat cheese. I had to be gluten free. I now could eat wheat. I would cough after eating. I was allergic. I could eat like 4 or 5 foods. I mean, Dennis will tell you. I mean, literally, I could eat like 4 or 5 foods. My digestive issues were gone. My IBS was gone. Dark spots on my face, gone. After about, I'd say 8 to 9 months, almost every dark spot is gone. About 3 months in, people were starting to ask me in the chat, what are you doing? What are you doing with your face? Your face looks different. You're glowing. It's tighter. So we weren't sure we were going to want to bring this out, but we figured it was helping us. Now I'd like to patch the world. Actually, so much has happened. Like I said, my hair's doubled. My mitochondria, the production in my mitochondria, my back pain from scoliosis is gone. Now look, this didn't happen for everybody in 48 hours. Dennis will tell you about him in a second, but I always tell people, I say, look, this is a godsend. I believe God sent this to us. It saved our life. I know it saved my life. I know it did. But it's not God, okay? It's not God. If you continue eating Cheetos for lunch and chocolate cake for dinner, and you eat Diet Coke, and that's that's how you don't drink water, don't waste your money, guys. Okay, don't even bother, because you've got to make an attempt to do what you should do to help this, so that you're co-laboring with what I believe God gave to us, to help us to be more aware of our health and to help us in every area because of the world we're living in today. Dennis?
Yeah, and I
Oh,
think it's
maybe
important.
I should do how it works. You want me to do that?
Yeah, right after I do this, you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's important to stress the fact that the reaction to this is different for everybody. Although there's some common things that you'll find. Like for me, like it was like 6 weeks later, I started feeling a difference of more stamina, more energy, and then I took blood tests actually, and compared before and after a 2 month period of being on the patch. I realized that my blood pressure was reducing, cholesterol levels were reducing, prostate numbers were reducing in the right direction. Brain fog was gone. I dealt heavily with brain fog. And then actually I took another blood test a year later, back about a year after being on the patch. And again, another reduction in blood pressure, another reduction in cholesterol. I'm actually, for the first time in my life, in the green area, in a good area with cholesterol, where I've always been in the red. My prostate numbers reduced significantly. I'm just above the green area, where I went from a PSA count probably like 8.0 to now almost 4.0, which is just about the level you get into the green area. And of course, my hair did get thicker, and nice side effect for me. And so there was definitely some major improvements. Now, I want to stress the fact that as the body is becoming healthier with the activation of the stem cells, you don't always have to have a dramatic reaction, or like some people say, well, I'm not really feeling any different. But what you're not realizing is so much is going on in the body. As inflammation is decreasing, you don't feel a decrease of inflammation. You don't feel a stronger heart. You don't feel inflammation being reduced in your brain. So it's not always like, oh, I can now run 5 extra miles and I wake up running. That's not the case. But you will notice increased stamina and some increased energy depending on your system, because it's going to go at the area of your body that needs attention first. Like Delora said, it's sonar. So if you need inflammation in your heart to be reduced, that's where it's going to focus and concentrate on. So you may not wake up, ready to dance in your pajamas like Delora does, but but your heart is going to start improving in health, which long term you want that first. So it's different for everybody. But yeah, so I think we have a video that shows exactly how it works from the founder.
Yeah.
And the
Listen,
scientist.
this is David Schmidt. Let me just give him a little introduction. David Schmidt, he's the scientist, the inventor, the CEO. He's not really a businessman. And if you watch him, we saw him in person and at a meeting, and he's just not. He's just not. And it's just, and I love that. He is a Christian. He claims that every single thing he's gotten was a download from God. He takes Bible codes, Bible verses, turns them into source codes, lets that lead him into other scientific projects he's got going that follow the same source code. He's all about reversing aging, not anti-aging. He really believes people will live to be 120 years old. He's got all kinds of other inventions in longevity tools that will be coming over the next couple of years. What I love about him, and then I'll show you the video, is whenever he is asked and given credit for discovering X39, he'll say, please stop. I take no credit for this. I got this from God, and God deserves all the glory. When I heard that, I got goosebumps just saying it just now. When I heard that, I knew we had a win-win on our hands, and it's just absolutely amazing. But this is David Schmidt. He is the inventor and founder of X39, and about 3 minutes long, but listen carefully because this is how it works.
please share with us how the amazing X39 technology works? We got a lot of brand partners that are brand new, so they really want to hear from you. And then we got some highly sophisticated, educated doctors in the room, so kind of relate to all of them on how this technology works.
Yeah, so the first thing to understand, I suppose, is that our bodies are based on light as a form of communication. We have a bioelectrical system in our body, which is all based on math and geometry. And if we can understand what this biological code is, we can do some really remarkable things with it. So the current direction of my research is looking at species that are immortal and looking at codes, the mathematical codes that we find in the Bible and mathematical codes that we find in nature, which I now think of as being God's fingerprint. And we can use this information to support the body's natural healing systems in ways that haven't been available before. So with the patches, which is one of many different technologies that we'll come out with. I know we'll probably talk a little bit about what's in store for the future, which is incredibly exciting. But on the patches, because this is our foundational technology and our foundational products, they stimulate the skin with a blend of different wavelengths of light that are modulated to contain information. So what does this mean? If we think of laser communications, which have been around for many, many decades now, and that's how fiber optics work. We're going to take a laser, we modulate the light to contain information, and then at the receiving end, that light is unpacked and decoded, and now we can hear voice or see video. So the human body essentially works the same way, meaning that light is emitted from the cells. And actually, how light is emitted from the cells is an incredibly fascinating subject because it's coming from the DNA and the hydrogen bonds in the DNA. And that light emission has actually come from the spiritual realm, you might say. But what this all means is that in the thousands and thousands of different biochemical reactions that are occurring at any one time, there are pulses of coherent laser-like light that is emitted from the DNA, emitted from the cells, and this orchestrates and initiates the changing biochemical environment in the cell. So what this means is that now, through normal course of aging, our glutathione or our copper peptide levels would decrease. But if we know the code where we can stimulate the skin and communicate with the body and say, hey, I'd like to increase those copper peptide levels, and I want to improve the activity of the stem cells in the body. If we know that code, then it's nothing more complicated than stimulating the skin with those wavelengths of light to instruct the cells to elevate the copper peptide. And the exciting thing is that that's only the beginning. What we can do with light-based technology is nothing short of extraordinary.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, what he has, that was about a year ago, Dan, I think, maybe a year and a half ago. And what he's got, I mean, we'll do another show on the future of what this company is doing. But Dennis, why don't you explain to the people kind of the cost, how they can sign up, how they can get in touch with us, whatever.
Yeah, it's a very simple thing. It's an adhesive patch, looks like that I showed you, and it's a medical grade product. There is no latex. It just kind of sticks on like a Band-Aid, but there is no latex. And you place it at the base of your neck, at the top of your spine. There's a little bone there, or 2 inches below your belly button. That's where they did the double-blind studies. And actually, you could put it anywhere on your body. Some people, if they have a back pain, they put it right in the area of the pain, and it seems to work very well. But those are the two main areas that you do. You wear it for 12 hours at a time. So Delora and I put it on at 9 o'clock in the morning. We set our phone alarms at 9 o'clock at night. We take it off. You always want to leave it off for 12 hours and suggest that you don't wear it during the nighttime. Let your body restore itself after all the light emission and the activation process. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off. The company has a subscription model with the lowest wholesale price. You get 1 month's supply for one person. That's 1 patch a day or 30 patches that you wear every day for $99.95 per month for one person. And what I like about this company is, for whatever reason, if after a couple months you go through a financial hardship, I can't afford it, whatever, you get your own little account page, just like a credit card. You log into your own account. You just click a little box, say, stop my subscription. Or you may say, wow, this is working. This is working so good. I want to get one for my husband or my child, my son or daughter, and just add a subscription. So you control the whole thing. There's no questions asked. It's very easy to work with. Great company. But that's the lowest wholesale price, $99.95 on a subscription basis.
Preferred customer, right?
It's called the preferred customer. And so at this point, there's a little landing page. We call it takingbackourhealth.com. And if you go there, if you're interested in finding out more information or how to get your product shipped to you right away, all those kind of stuff, you can fill out information and we'll get back to you. And if you want more,
message too, you can leave us a message there. Yep,
you could, or a question, and we'll get back to you right away, either by phone or by email. And we also have more information if you need it. We have more videos. We have doctors' videos for those that want more research. We've got that for you too. Whatever you need, we're here to help you. And because our burden is to, not only, like I said from the beginning, not only to get you spiritually healthy, but physically healthy, because you need to be physically healthy to do the spiritual work that God has called us to do. So again, it's been our burden, and I hope this is something that will benefit you, that you're interested in. But it's called takingbackourhealth.com.
Now, it can for those that want to just go to sign up, you can do that too. It's lifewave.com/Dennis and Delora. Now, the only thing with that is sometimes it gets confusing. I mean, look, I'm really good at online stuff, and Dennis is pretty good as well. And we had a kind of a hard time figuring it out because it looks like they're adding something and they're not, and it's for the month, next month, and it's all these things. So if you are really interested in signing up and you just get it to me, go to takingbackourhealth.com, okay? And there's a little message thing and say, I want to sign up. Send me the video on how to do it. Because what happened was, Dennis, because people kept saying, I don't know how, I don't know what to do. And then we tried to sign them up. And so what Dennis did is he made like a 3-minute video. So when you go to lifewave.com/Dennis and Delora, you follow Dennis on the video. He'll say, okay, go up to the top, click on this, go. And he walked you right through to be a preferred customer, and it's easy peasy. If you have any other questions, I added in the email, you name, email address, and at the bottom you can leave us a message. They go right to me. I'd like to know about this, or can you send me the doctor's video, or whatever you'd like, and you just send that to me. Or if you just want to sign up and I don't even want to wait for Taking Back Our Health, say, send me Dennis's video. Just go to Delora at DeloraOBrien.com. Email me. Say, send me Dennis's video. Want to sign up? I'll do it that way too. So any way at all, you can get it. We always say, and Dennis said it at the beginning, God is first in our life. Family is second. But third, and I say this and people laugh, I'd love to patch the world. I tell Dennis all the time, I wish I had enough money to people that can't afford it, to just patch them. God's going to do it for us because that's our heart. But if you can, if you're taking a supplement and it's expensive, and it's that much a month. Please, try this. Try this instead. Give it some time. It is probably the best thing that will change your life. I don't know what else to say.
I think that's it.
Mary, does that page ask if someone referred you? No, thank you for saying that. If someone like Mary, who is part of this with us, if they invited you here, and just go back to them. Mary, love you, my friend. Go back to them, okay? Don't go to our page. They have their own page. We all work together, though. We all work together, but it's important that people have their own people that they work with as well, okay? And it's still part of us. It's still part of our community. But Mary, thank you for that. So if you go there, just go call the person up that invited you here. Okay. And that's for the people that are watching this later as well. Dennis, anything else?
And that's it. I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. It's a wrap. Okay. I have a ton more stuff, but I'm going to save it. I think maybe we should do another one in another couple of weeks, especially for those that are already, I'm interested, but I would have liked seeing the price instead of waiting for a phone call. Candace, the price is $99.95. Dennis said that just a couple minutes ago. It's $99.95 a month. Full disclosure, we're not trying to be crafty here. We're not like that. But if you go to takingbackourhealth.com, we'll have your information. And if you put a little message in there, I would like more information on signing up, then we'll do that. But it's $99.95 a month per person. Okay. All right. I think that's it. People have testimonies throughout this on both Rumble and YouTube. Very quick shipping. Thank you. Yeah. Very quick shipping. You'll get patches between 4 and 5 days later. So that's it. And I think that's all. Just let me do this real quick. Gathering Connection, gatheringmovement.org. If you want to join us March 14th, go there. Tickets are free. We'd love to see you. We'd love to meet you. And that's it. Prayer Connection, Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Friday. This Friday it begins, 6 p.m. We will be praying for our country, our nation, our elected officials. We'll be praying for your needs that you put up in the chat. So join us 6 o'clock right here, YouTube and Rumble, Friday, the Prayer Connection. God bless you guys. Love you all. And until then, remember, go in the power of God. Ciao, everybody. Have a great day.